Hello there. Welcome to the Art of Feeling Better. You may have noticed that I have been a little wee bit quiet, and that's because I've been busy beavering away behind the scenes, setting up some really cool new stuff for 2025. You may also notice if you are watching this with the visuals, and even if you're listening on Spotify, that I have a brand new rig. So I have been working on getting this content to be as seamless and professional as possible with my limited techie skills. And so I've got a nice new microphone. Hopefully, the sound is a little bit better. And I'm in HD. Check this out. I wish you could see the other side. I might just drop in a little visual so you can see what it looks like from the other side. So I've got my ring light, I've got the whole rig set up, and I'm feeling uber professional, like a professional podcaster. Um, I'm really excited for 2025. How did we get to 2025 for starters? It's been quite a ride, hasn't it? And I know that everybody is really feeling it at the moment because we're in this period of great change, both on an individual level and a collective level. Things are really shifting, and you would have to be hiding under a rock not to notice and see and hear and feel all of the things that are going on at the moment all over the world. But really on an individual level, in your own head, in your own mind, in your own family setting, in your own home, in your own community. It really is quite a ride at the moment, and well done everybody just for getting through the days and for hanging on in there. And through these periods of difficulty, there always comes some great positive change. Something good always comes out of this conflict and all of the dramas. We just have to come to this point, this tipping point for it to really make the positive changes. And I think we're there right now. So yeah, well done and lots of love to all of you out there, whatever it is you're experiencing, whatever it is that you're going through. And today I just wanted to touch base. I just wanted to catch up. I just wanted to let you know that there are two reasons I have been a wee bit quiet as of late. And one of them is because, as you know, I'm really passionate about being as authentic as I possibly can and sharing my journey in real time and walking the talk. So all of the things that I talk about and all the wisdom that I share and all of the tools and the tips and the techniques that you can find within Mojo School are all things that I am actively practicing, I'm learning, and I'm developing in order to bring this to you. So it wouldn't be good, would it, if I wasn't walking the talk and actually implementing these things myself? And one of those things is I've been through a great sort of transitionary period myself over the last decade, really. And if you've watched these or listened to these from the beginning, you will know my Batman origin story, and you will know that I've spent a lot of time being a raging people pleaser, a workaholic, trying to be a superhero and prove myself in every way to every person. And that trauma drive has been part of the process of me developing the content that I bring now. The process of unlearning and relearning is what's brought me here right now, my own personal journey. And one of the biggest things for me was being able to recognize when I am in peak performance mode, when I am living truly aligned and authentic with my purpose, with my passion, doing the things that light me up, bring me great joy. And within that, I have a really great challenge response. It's really an important part of who we are, is to be able to rise to challenges and to be able to take action and to be able to have the energy and the discipline to do things. But that was a very fine line to walk for me, and still is and always will be, I think, from recognizing when that trips over into trauma drive, which for me manifests as manic overwork and taking on things that are ridiculously silly that human beings couldn't possibly do in an attempt to prove myself worthy in some way. And those two things are quite hard to balance, because one can feel quite like the other. Excitement feels the same in the body as anxiety, so it's difficult to discern which is which. So it's taken me a lot of work, a lot of self-reflection, introspection, and trying different things and seeing what works for me. And as a mother, as a mum of four, and as a woman, as an entrepreneur, as a businesswoman, it's been quite a ride, because sometimes you don't know what works for you, especially if you've been people pleasing since childhood. How do you know what works for you when you've repressed your own needs for so long that you kind of just operate on some unseen perceptions of expectation? What you think is right? What would other people want me to do? What's going to get me the most, love and attention and validation? And those things aren't always what actually light you up as a human being, as an individual, and what you actually need. And how I came to discern those things is to start recognizing what my body was telling me, to start listening and noticing the red flags. And, my red flags were they were like neon signs, towards the end of when I started to really kind of shift. They couldn't have been more obvious. I was hospitalized several times and I still didn't see that my body was trying to tell me something ain't right here. You need to slow down. You need to reassess, because I didn't understand that that's what was happening. I just thought there was something wrong with me and I just needed to push through and I needed to toughen up. And if I worked harder, then that would make things better, which of course was the opposite. I was meant to slow down. I was meant to pause. I was meant to assess and reflect and take some learning and some wisdom for the experiences that I was having. So that's been a big work in progress. And part of what I wanted to share with you is exactly that when January hit and I thought, I'd had a plan that there's lots of things on the radar for this year, by the way, really exciting things, all good things. But I had this solid plan and I had this strategy and this timeline, and the old me, by hook or by crook, would stick to that no matter what, because I've already said I'm going to do it and I'll fail if I don't. But things happen and some stuff's gone on and time's run away and all kinds of different things. That's just being a human. And I sat over the Christmas period, over the holiday season, and I had the most incredible time with my family, with my babies who were all home. I say babies, they're all grown-ups now, but we had a really nice time, and I stopped and we all kind of spent a lot of time together. And I managed to sink into that and sit with that no matter what was going on elsewhere. And don't get me wrong, there's been some challenges and some dramas, as there always is. That's daily life, isn't it? But I really managed to sink into that space of reflection and pause and presence and really enjoy everything as it happened. And I started to think, well, why am I trying to, what race am I trying to win here? Why am I trying to go foot to the floor as I always have in the past and make sure I have something ready? 1st of January, I'm going to have things ready to go, because that's what we do. We have our resolutions, and the people out there need this, and they will be expecting some amazing Mojo School content. I thought, no, they're not. Everyone's busy with their own stuff. No one's expecting anything. And yeah, if I'm feeling that, then surely everybody out there is feeling similar. And there's going to be lots of things being plastered all over the place. We're all guilty of scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and not really paying attention to things. And it can get really overwhelming when there's so much stuff out there. So I sat over Christmas and I thought, I know what I want to do. I want to take January for a real pause and reflection time. And I want to just do what I need to do. I want to look after myself. I want to look at my self-care strategies. I really want to sit, observe, and activate the power of the pause. Because the power of the pause is one of the things that I am going to be focusing on very soon in one of my programs that I'm running. And I'm going to be teaching other people how to do this. So what better way than to take that experience myself? So I decided to be a little bit quiet over January and just do me, keep on planning, keep on creating in the background. I wanted to get my tech a little bit better, which I'm really pleased with. Find out the things that were missing, both professionally, in terms of equipment, in terms of resources, in terms of my training and learning and development, in terms of my self-care, my body, my nutrition, my family, my own needs. And I'm really pleased I did that, because it was probably the best decision I've made. So you won't have seen lots of things going on the social media pages, on this podcast, because I've been very quiet. And I've been at peace with that. And I've been loving and enjoying that quiet. And part of that pause, while I've been busy not trying to fit in to some perception of unseen expectations that I put on myself, I've really been able to make some huge strides and some huge progress with what I'm able to offer and what I'm able to bring to this arena this year. And that's what I wanted to share with you today in this particular episode. Just to let you know that I hear you, I see you. It's okay to take a pause. It's okay to sit with what you need, and it's okay to prioritize yourself. And to let you know that even if you're experiencing some intense stuff right now, which most people are, there is hope. Things are going to shift. Nothing is permanent, and this too shall pass. And there are lots of people in lots of spaces doing incredible work and building resources just like this one that you're going to be able to access to help you on that journey. So if you're able to, I would recommend you just take a pause. Just sit, just be, just allow whatever needs to come up to come up. And then you'll be in a much better place to step out of that overwhelm and switch back to a place where you can really discern what it is that you need right now. And if we don't do that, then we can't access all of the good things that are out there. And what we do is we get stuck in this space where all we know how to do is overwork. Or maybe we're using alcohol or substances just to mask the symptoms that we're feeling and try and get some normality in our lives. Maybe we're being reckless with our spending and we're shopping and we're racking up credit cards because we just need those dopamine hits. We need something in our day to make us feel a little bit better. Maybe we're just wasting time and procrastinating by endlessly scrolling through our social media channels that we're addicted to, where nothing actually happens there. We're just looking at everybody else's business. And then we get to the end of the day and realize that this beautiful life we have, we've just wasted another load of precious minutes. But we don't know what else to do because that's our habit, that's our addiction, and that's just the way we operate to try and numb up and distract ourselves from what's going on. So, power of the pause is this crucial, vital tool that will allow you to step out of that space and into another space. And in this other space is where all of the good stuff lies. It's where you can really find what you need. And you can stop being overwhelmed because you know what you need, not what the people need, what you need. And you're more likely to be able to come across these things and be able to actually action the things that you need. So, that being said, I am going to give you a little super quick run through of the things that I've been working on and the things that you are going to have coming your way in 2025 through Mojo School, my particular offering. So as you know, I have been busily building in the background alongside this podcast an online digital space. It's called Mojo School, although school is probably the wrong word because that puts people off thinking that it's like actual school. This is a space where all of the things that we wish we'd learned, the things that we should have learned in school, are kept. It's a holding space with over 500 tools, resources, so you can build your own completely person-centered toolkit for whatever it is you need. And the beauty of it is, because I've constructed it in a way that it's completely self-paced, so you've got no pressure, you don't have to come anywhere or do anything. You can sit at home scrolling. It feeds into that addiction, but in a positive way. You can access it from your phone and you can have a little look around and you can watch a couple of my videos, see what works, see what hits for you. There's lots of things along the way that will help you if you don't know what you need. There's lots of little assessment tools and quizzes and reflections and journaling prompts. There's little simple activities that you can do to build that resilience and to build your own toolkit. And it's so personal to you that it might not work for anybody else, but that's okay. It doesn't need to. It's about you. And I know with working, in the mental health field for so many years now, and especially with new neuroscience discoveries coming out, and we have this space where we live up in our heads, and every single moment of every day we're having to rationalize, we're having to think about things, we're having to apply things to what we already know from our past. And when we live in this thinking space, we forget how to feel and we detach ourselves from our bodily sensations that tell us what we need. And this is the problem. It's a problem with a lot of therapies at the moment. And I've got a lot of, I have a lot of modalities in my toolkit, and there's place for all of them. But we're so focused, especially in the West, in things like the psychotherapy and talking therapies and CBT. But what happens with that, and why a lot of people say, well, it doesn't work for me, I didn't like it, or I've been in therapy for 10 years and I still feel like shit, is because we're not actually focusing on what's stuck. We're not metabolizing and moving through the feelings that have attached to the thoughts. So what happens is we just redo the thoughts and we can think it through constantly, but the feelings in our body are still there. So we just re-experience these things every time we go through them. So until we actually find ways to understand what's going on in our chemistry, to actually observe and acknowledge the thoughts, but then action them and do something about it to move them through, we're going to be stuck in this space. And this is what many of us experience, that we are stuck in this headspace. And every single day we can't be mindful. We can't actually experience the present moment because we're so stuck in the way we've been conditioned to think about things and to constantly attach thoughts to our past. And what does that mean? And how does that remind me of this? And what does that mean for the future? We lose touch with ourselves and we detach from ourselves, and we can't truly experience presence and proper joy and peace. So my aim for Mojo School is to allow you to be able to understand you and to be able to work out what you need, not what somebody else tells you need, not what a prescription or medication, for starters, prescription, just numbing up the symptoms is not going to help. We know that now. We're realizing this. But even some of the spaces out there where you have somebody telling you what it is that's going on and what you need, that's still only half of the battle, because it might not be what you need. There is no one size fits all approach to say, if you do this, this, and this, you'll feel better. And sometimes that plays into a more negative space, because if you're told by a person that all you need to do is this, this, and this. I'm a guru. I know everything because I've trained in a modality and I'm really good at this modality and it's my business. You just need to do this and it will fix everything. Great if it does. I mean, some incredible things out there. I'm a huge fan of things like EMDR, internal family systems. I'm a huge fan of yoga, qigong, different body-based practices. They're all incredible, and a lot of those things help me. But that's great because they help me. But if I then tell you, you just have to do this one thing and it will change your life because it changed mine, that can be quite destructive, because then a person thinks they have hope and this thing is going to fix them, and they might spend a lot of money they don't have on trying to do this one thing, and it doesn't work. And what happens? They feel like they're the problem. I am broken. There is something fundamentally wrong with me because I was told this was going to fix me and it hasn't. We don't need fixing. This is what we go through in Mojo School. We don't need fixing. We're not broken. There's just things that have happened to us and experiences that we've had that have distorted our perceptions. And we need to figure that out. We need to figure that out on a very personal level. There is no outside thing, person, pill, activity that will fix. There's just a lot of tools that you can bring into yourself and your space that will help things move through and help you to feel better. That's why this podcast is called The Art of Feeling Better. That's what it says in the tin. So now I have this fully built digital platform. It's an e-learning space. It's all set up like you would expect if you've done any online learning or any kind of courses before. But it's based around mental health, wellness, and all of the parts of yourself. And there's so many things in there and ways to explore. And within the digital walls of Mojo School, you have your own profile that you can set up. You have your own individual dashboard, your own pathway that you can curate yourself. And there's help every step of the way. I have set it out in a way that you can either explore completely freely and work your way around whatever you've got access to in your own time and in your own way. Pull out the tools as and when you want them. Or I have a really solid, supported, guided space, which is more of a coaching and mentoring program. Still all self-paced. You can access it and it will take you through step by step by step, right the way around every single resource. I've set that out to do over a space of a year, but if you wanted to binge watch like Netflix and go through it all, you could probably do it much quicker. So you have all of these options within Mojo School. And I've tried to set it up so it's so flexible that everybody can access it. And you can do things with your families as well. There's some great tools on there that work for all ages, all demographics. You can do on your own or you can do together. And you can either hop on the dashboard and have a little look at all of the individual parts of it. I've called them courses, but they're more like elements or modules, and you can decide what suits you at the time, and you can just buy that particular element. And there's always special offers on, so just keep an eye out for that. And it may be that you are really struggling with your anxiety, or you're supporting someone, a child, a parent, a friend, work colleagues that's struggling with anxiety. There's a course called Anxiety Hack, and it has all the steps that you can take to work out what anxiety means to you, and lots of tools that you can have a go at and see what works for you. There's even an anxiety management plan in there, so you can start to build that in. Maybe you want to look at body-based therapies. Maybe you're not sure and you're feeling a little bit confused or a little bit nervous about what you want to try. There's loads of information in a couple of somatic courses on there about the body knows, the neurobiology of trauma, what it means to you, what happens in your body, and some options for you to try out or look at or just listen to all of the body-based therapies that you might want to try. Things like EMDR, things like EFT or tapping, things like yoga, qigong, connecting with nature. All of those things in there, along with some journaling templates and some planners, are there for you to explore before you go out in real time and do any of those things. Maybe it's creativity. Maybe you want to look at writing your way to wellness. There's a whole course, Write Your Way to Wellness, which will help you understand how powerful that is. It will give you loads of journaling prompts, different ideas of how you can bring the written word into your life. Well, what if you're dyslexic or you're illiterate? Maybe you can't write at all, and that's really triggering for you. Don't do that one. Maybe music medicine is more for you, and there's specific spaces where you can explore the arts in different formats. Graffiti, throwing paint at walls, creating, sculpting, music medicine. There's so many options, and it's all based on what you need. It's an exploration. So you can hop on the individual bits as and when you want to, or you could sign up as a subscribed member. And I really, really want to grow our community. So I'm always putting really super special offers on. And the subscription is going to be the best way to do it because it's so low cost. It's a monthly little fee, and you get access to absolutely everything. Your dashboard is full of stuff, including the full program. And it's about 3 grand's worth of content on there. So it's really, really worth doing. So there's another option for you. Of course, you can keep listening to this podcast. We have our blog posts. I have on the social media channels and social media groups. I have some really cool little challenges that are going to be coming out this year. I have some meditation and mindfulness video series that you can dip in and out of on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok. So there's so many things coming your way. And the super exciting news is, as of March, I believe the end of March, I'm going to be launching the app. So there is going to be a Mojo app coming out. And the super exciting part about that is it's going to really be great for any techie people out there, which I think is everybody who likes to jump on Facebook or Instagram or look at Netflix. And you just want the touch of a button. You want to be able to get on your phone, click the logo, and up everything comes. That's going to be available really, really, really soon. And it also means that I can do push notifications really easily from my end, and I can give you a bit of a dose of positivity, and I can regularly check in, and I can nudge you and maybe just nudge you towards doing a little bit of Mojo. Keep yourself feeling better if you've forgotten and you got distracted. So many good things to come. And of course, I'm going to have some incredible guests on this podcast. And I would invite you all to get involved, drop some comments in. And if you have something you want to talk about, or maybe you have an experience you'd like to share, or even maybe you're a practitioner or a coach and you have a modality that you think would be really useful to add to our toolkits, then let me know. Drop me a line. And I would love to chat to you more about whatever it is that you do, whatever it is that you want to share. So loads of options there, loads of options. Now, I'm not going to be on for too much longer, but I wanted to do a little bit of a screen share for those of you watching the visuals so that you can see what Mojo School actually looks like. Now, if you are listening to the audio, obviously that's not going to be apparent to you, but you can continue listening to my dulcet tones, and I'm going to describe through the basics of what you see if you register. So, once you enroll with Mojo School, you'll be able to create your own profile, and it brings up your dashboard, which, how cool is that? Your very own dashboard, which you can access anytime you want to. And it will tell you how many courses you have available. It'll tell you how many hours that you've been getting your Mojo on. And anything you've posted in the community space will come up, and all your certificates and your achievements. And of course, you can link in with all of our socials straight from your dashboard. And the little pop-up that's just come up now is my customer support. So there's lots and lots of help there that you can get if you need it, if you're stuck with anything, or if you have any questions. And look at all these. If I scroll down, these are all of the certificates that one by one you will be able to access as you come to the end and reach 100% of your content. You'll unlock badges, you'll unlock trophies, and you'll unlock certificates. So now, Once you scroll down, you can see access to all of the courses that you will have on your dashboard. If you decided to just dip your toe in and buy an individual element, then you will find that on your dashboard ready to go. And it will allow you to click on it and access all the content within that module. If you're a member and you have access to all of the content, then you're going to see every single thing there ready for you to go. And it's yours as long as you're a member. And you can just keep going over and exploring, doing the activities, watching the videos. And you can see just how much content's on there. Everything to support anxiety, to look at thought reframing and rewiring your beliefs, anything that's stopping you, how to think yourself well and flip your self-talk from self-bullying to positive self-talk. There's a really good good course in there, From Chaos to Calm, which is all around mindfulness, and it's especially for neurospicy minds. If you think mindfulness isn't for you and you really struggle with sitting still and you believe that's what mindfulness is, there's loads of things in there that will help you and help you get into that present moment and experience a bit of peace. There's lots of information about grounding and looking at physical wellness and nutrition and your stability and connection to nature and your community. All kinds of cool information in The Body Knows about how the mind and the body connect. Body-based therapies, there's a breathwork course, there's a course on self-compassion and self-expression for personal growth, lots of creativity, writing, the healing arts, exploring universal principles. And then we have a journey into subtle energy healing when you'll look at all of the energy centers and how you can manage your own energy. There's a course there on sound healing and vibrational medicine. We have loads of information on human design. We have a gratitude revolution. And then we have the 12-month Weeds and Seeds. So my coaching program, it may get a name rewire. I'm just having a little play around with that. But that's the part that you'll be able to access if you want the full guided program. So within that, you're going to have a directed space to show you what to do and when. And I have a monthly workshop, a live workshop that you'll be able to access anytime you want it. That is me, just like I am now, delivering some really, really deep, important stuff around the medicine wheel every step of the way to help you through your curriculum. Every now and again, I'll pop up other little programs as well if they resonate. I currently have one on the go for mums, which is really cool. And I'm just going to click into this space up at the top on the profile for a second. So if you look at apps and you click on daily news, it will bring up this very podcast so you can scroll through to your heart's content and access every single episode of the Art of Feeling Better podcast. If you want to look at best resources, then I have all my trusted friends, all the guests that have been on this podcast, and all of the people that I really respect and work with. You can find their work and links to things that might help you that aren't in Mojo School. And you also have a resources library. So if you need to go back over anything that you really loved when you were working through an element, and you don't want to go back through the course, you have all of these things in your own library to access. So somatic tools, self-care support, mindfulness tools, creative tools, specific things for anxiety, affirmations, meditations, all there in your resources library. How cool is that? So I'm going to really show you before I sign off for today how the courses look. So if we click on our Basecamp, which is the one that I suggest, this is how it looks on the inside. So you will have on the left-hand side a whole menu from each module right the way through. And there's a combination of little videos, of little short ebooks, if you prefer the written word, and some PDFs that can be downloaded. There's some activities, there's some quizzes, lots of cool stuff in there. I'm going to show you a super little video in a second so you can see what the videos look like. See, loads of cool things, wellbeing self-assessment, there's things on territory mapping, loads and loads and loads of cool stuff. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just show you the medicine wheel. So I'm going to show you this video, there's some nice audio with it, and it will tell you exactly what the medicine wheel is, which is the foundation of the whole of Mojo School. So let's see. Welcome to our orientation space. This introductory course will guide you on a captivating journey of self-discovery, using the ancient medicine wheel as your compass. As you make your way through this course, you will find powerful activities and resources to explore the 4 core dimensions of holistic wellness: physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. Each module will illuminate where you shine and identify areas where a little TLC can cultivate a more balanced and fulfilling life. By exploring each direction of the medicine wheel through a shamanic lens, we embark on a powerful journey of self-discovery and healing. We awaken our minds in the east, ground ourselves in the north, find emotional balance in the west, and transform in the south. This cyclical walk reminds us that all aspects of ourselves are interconnected, and true well-being lies in integrating them all. In this opening module, we'll set the stage for your exploration of holistic wellness with the medicine wheel as our guide. Get ready to dive into the history, symbolism, and core principles of this powerful tool. So, what is the medicine wheel? The medicine wheel is a sacred symbol used by various indigenous cultures. It's much more than just a pretty picture. It serves as a roadmap for achieving holistic well-being. Imagine it as a compass pointing you in the direction of a balanced and fulfilling life. The power of the circle. The medicine wheel's circular shape is significant. It represents the circle of life, the interconnectedness of all things, and the cyclical nature of existence. Just as the seasons turn, so too do our lives ebb and flow. The centre, your grounding point. The centre of the medicine wheel symbolises your core essence, your true self. It's the place where your physical, mental, emotional and spiritual aspects converge. The 4 cardinal directions, a journey of exploration. The medicine wheel is typically divided into 4 quadrants, each representing a cardinal direction: east, north, west and south, and a corresponding aspect of your being. Traditionally, we start off in the east, the direction of the rising sun and new beginnings. We then typically move around in an anti-clockwise direction, grounding in the north, supporting creative flow and emotional release in the west, and setting up all of the foundations so we can move on to transform in the south. Let's take a tour through each direction, uncovering the wisdom it holds and how it connects to your holistic wellness. The east, air and the mental plane, the awakener. This direction places focus on the element of air and on the mental plane. Here we look at clarity of thought, fresh ideas, new beginnings and inspiration. The east represents the dawn, the rising sun and the awakening of consciousness. Here, the air element fuels our mental agility and sharpens our focus and intuition. It's about clearing mental clutter, sparking creative solutions and receiving fresh inspiration to embark on new beginnings. At Mojo School, courses and resources in the Mindset Mojo section relate to this area, supporting a top-down approach. Using up-to-date neuroscience information, cognitive behaviour therapy tools, neuro-linguistic programming and visualisation techniques, you can access in-depth learning and a powerful toolkit to help you reframe your experiences and change the way you think, feel and behave. The north, earth and the physical plane, the grounder. This direction places focus on the element of earth and the physical plane. Here we explore stability, grounding, connections to our people, community and space. We also look at our physical health and honouring the body. The north represents the deep wisdom of the earth. Shamanic tribes work with earth offerings, ancestral rituals and body awareness techniques in this direction to strengthen our connection to the earth and our ancestors. The earth element here grounds us, providing a sense of stability and connection to the physical world. Honouring the body through movement, healthy eating and spending time in nature is also crucial in the north. Finding a sense of belonging in community further nourishes our sense of wholeness. Your Mojo courses and resources for this direction can be found in the somatic medicine section and include grounding techniques, working with the natural environment, movement, nutrition, and various somatic body-based therapies and tools. We also look at living sustainably and creating more harmony with our environment. The West, water and the emotional plane, the flow keeper. The West represents the setting sun and focuses on the element of water and the realm of emotions. The water element here signifies emotional fluidity and the power of intuition. Here we take a deep dive into our inner strength, our emotional release, flow, intuition, forgiveness, and finding balance. Shamanic tribes use practices like water blessings, emotional release rituals, and nature connection in this direction to release pent-up emotions, practice forgiveness, and find inner peace. The West encourages us to surrender to the flow of life, navigate emotions with grace, and cultivate the inner strength needed for a balanced journey. At Mojo School, we work with creative practices in the release and flow section to unlock and empower ourselves, whether you feel that you are a creative person or not. Exploring various modalities for safe self-expression and gentle release of what no longer serves us can be found here. The South, fire and action, the transformer. This direction places focus on the element of fire and the spiritual or soul plane. Here we work on passion, transformation, shedding the old, taking action and connecting in with your soul purpose. The South embodies the midday sun, burning brightly with fiery passion and the drive for transformation. This direction aligns with the fire element, igniting our willpower and courage. Shamanic tribes use practices like fire ceremonies and shadow work to release what no longer serves us, limiting beliefs, negative emotions or past traumas. In the South, we connect with the transformative fire of your soul, propelling you towards discovering your authentic self and taking inspired action. At Mojo School, you can find courses and resources in the energy medicine section. Here, you will find tools to uncover your soul's blueprint, explore your identity, passion and purpose, and discover tools to help you connect in with the subtle energy field, such as vibrational sound therapy, to help you make profound shifts in your life. Now for your first activity. Grab a pen and paper or your favourite note-taking app and take a moment to reflect on which direction resonates most with you right now. Coming up next, you'll be creating your very own medicine wheel that reflects how you feel about the 4 directions and how they show up in your life. These initial notes will help you on your way. Is it a desire for clarity in the east? A need for grounding in the north? A yearning for emotional balance in the west? Or a longing for transformation in the south? Jot down your thoughts and why this direction might be calling to you. Okay, so you can see we have a really amazing blend of ancient wisdom right up to date with modern neuroscience and all wrapped up in cutting edge technology. It really is the perfect blend. And after each video, there's a little downloadable PDF, which will help as a companion to the video you just watched. And you can have a little look if you prefer to read. And then after that, there'll be a little mini activity that you can do if you fancy it to help you build your toolkit. And that's just how the courses progress as you go through. Really simple, really easy, and not an awful lot of time, which is the important thing. You don't have to put loads of time into it. That video there is probably the longest video that I have. The rest of them are around about somewhere between 3 minutes and 6 minutes long. So really simple to put into your daily life, really powerful and impactful. So you can see that you have so much at your fingertips. I've curated this so carefully and so mindfully over the last few years. And I'm really, really proud of what we've been able to develop in Mojo School. And it's ready. It's ready for you to access whenever you need it. By working through all of these elements and understanding the connections between your mental health, your physical health, your emotional health, and your spiritual development, you really and truly can start to feel better. The best part for me is that this content is ready to be shared. And there's so many ways to do that. So you can access this and you can do it with your family, with your kids, with your friends. You can share videos. You can share techniques and tools as you learn them. If you're a teacher or a coach, you can access my licensing options and you can use this content within your practice or within your classroom. If you're a business owner or if you work for a business that you think needs some support with mental health, then I have these brilliant licensing options that can be built into workplace culture, along with some training so I can teach leaders how to implement Mojo School. There really is so much there, and it's all going to be wrapped up in a beautiful app in the next couple of months. So all that's left for you to do is to go and have a little explore. And I've currently set up a 7-day free trial, so there's really no risk. So I would suggest jump on there on the dashboard. You can enroll yourself for free and have a little look round. You can jump on a course if you'd rather just buy a course outright, or you can sign up to the membership and be one of my subscribers. And you've got 7 days to have a play around with the full school content and have a little look around my medicine wheel. So I'm going to pop the link in. And I'm going to wish you all a beautiful rest of day. And I will see you very soon for the next episode of The Art of Feeling Better. Bye for now.